Okay, this is the Hasten Bagger. This one is being shipped to Bangkok, Thailand, BWCS company. So I'm going to go through all the screens right now. This is the front operator panel with the e-stop, power on, start, cycle, light up, and stop. Okay, so what we've got here is these corner ones. We've got full bag, empty bag, so no product. Over here you've got fill bag and single bag. Single bag just sends one bag, full bag continuously operates. This e-stop is turns to power when power is on, just an indicator. These are all navigation buttons, and we've got two indicators here in the front. This one says fault disabled because the faults are turned off. Another one here will say heat disabled if we turn the heat off. So we will go through. Let's start with the heat. What we've got here is I only have one sensor right now, and that is on the rear jaw. I've set it, this temperature in here is 20 degrees Celsius. I've set it to 25. You can see the output is trying to turn on that output there. And I've got the heat alarms. This is how many degrees above and below set point before you get a fault. Right now it's 15 degrees, which is rather high because that's Celsius. This was Fahrenheit. Now here's where you can turn the heat. If you want to turn the heat off for any reason, that indicator will come up here, to heat off. So let's go next to tracking. This is the tracking. We'll turn on the, now if I have power on here. Okay, I can hear relays in the background. And those relays then will, of course, turn on the tracking motor left or right. Okay, let's go home. Let's take a look at timing. Now timing is the Hasten's 0 to 360 traditional operation, and this is simulated electronically now, so the machine's generating a 0 to 360 degree cycle, and these are all of our outputs. We can turn those particular outputs off if we want to. Typically you don't do this. Sometimes it's handy, like for instance to turn the knife off and run it, and you'll get a big connection of bags that are not cut, and sometimes it's helpful to inspect the machine. And of course here you can change your settings. I have 350. Let's go to 352 for instance. There it is. Okay, and this will indicate the machine cycle as the machine's going 0 to 360. It'll display that. Timing number 2, we've got a few more outputs, and I've got a couple other buttons here. First I'll discuss this one, start delay and pause delay. Start delay, which was originally called drop delay, that is the length of time from when the pull belts and the films start moving, this timer will start. And after that length of time, then the drop signal then goes up to the scale to tell it to drop. So you can get the machine into time by doing that. Now what's unique about pause delay is when the machine goes into a pause because the scale is not ready, the machine holds at that time. Now if you've got a fast moving machine, it's critical to keep time. And once the machine resumes, you want to drop that product right away, but if the machine starts right away, you'll be out of time. So this is a separate delay here. Let's put in, say 25 milliseconds. Okay, so what this means then is that once the scale is ready and it resumes, we're going to send a signal up there, drop right away, but let's not start our machine for another 25 milliseconds. So that way we can keep in time, and the product will arrive about the time the machine needs it. So, and this screen does explain that. It's the scale help screen. Calibration. Okay, I can cover that now. Calibration is one time, and I put some defaults on there. 35.0, you can see that those are just places to start from. These settings set up the speed and the distance of the pull belts and the registration roller. It's critical to get those correct. I can probably go into more detail about that at a later time. That's really what that does. Tension, this one happens to be identical to this one. Tension, as it says here, what it does is it allows the pull belt to run a little bit longer, tightening up the film at the end of each cycle. Okay, so we're done with timing. Speed bag, we'll go into that one. What speed bag does here is it sets the top half as speed, the bottom half as bag. Used to have 2 screens, I do it in one. So you can increase your bag count, 47, 48, 49, whatever you want. You can do this while it's running. And this will show your actual, which is going to vary a little bit from the requested, just based on a number of factors, how big the bag is and how quick the scale is operating and what have you. Down below here we have the bag setup, and this is the bag length in millimeters, and this is the placement offset. So what this means is once the eye mark sees the registration mark on the bag, it's going to run this much longer past that, because you want that film to stop between your graphical marks so you can cut between your bags. And so that's what this placement offset does here. And I can demonstrate that a little later. This light will come on when the eye is on. It's kind of handy. So you can, when you're lining up your eye, that'll turn green. This registration on and off, of course, registration mode is on now. Now it's off. It's going to ignore the eye. Okay, let's keep going. Go down to here. Program used to be called recipe. You can select whatever recipe you want. There's 8 of them. Okay. And whoop. Okay, I got a little bug there. Okay. When you're ready, you hit load program, and boom, it loads like program 7 into the memory. Then what you can do, let's say you make changes to that program and you want to store it, you go over here, overwrite, and there's a warning here, but if I push that button, all of those changes that I have then are going to go back to the program 7. So and that's another way you can copy from one program to another. Load one in, make a few changes to it, and go overwrite and dump it back in. And you've just changed another program. Okay, so that's, and then manual, you can turn on your outputs and turn them off just for maintenance reasons. Jog, this allows you to turn the pull belts on. Maybe you can hear that, or maybe just the pull belts, or just the roller, or both. Okay, there's a couple counters here. It keeps track of how many bags you've run and your machine hours. Faults. Okay, the machine has some faults. Right now the fault is turned off. Okay, the faults are on, so the machine will stop if it sees a fault. We've got registration eye mark. If it misses 2 eye marks, it'll stop. The jaw procs, if the jaw gets jammed up. Okay. If you're out of product, in this case we may not have that because we have a scale interface instead of a hopper. Spool, if you're low on film. These are for both servos, for the pull belt and registration mark. These are for the 3 heaters, if they're within range or not within range. If you happen to get a servo fault here, you can push this and it resets the fault in most cases on that servo. Don't expect that to happen much. Okay, what's left? I think we pretty much covered them here. So I will do some more recording here with some of the machine functions operating.